Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
I'm Tim Stanovic, along with Carol Masser. Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. We're joined by Bloomberg News equities reporter Jordan Fitzgerald. Jordan, what is on your radar?
Well, we have to start with Texas Instruments and Seagate. Got to go with what's newsworthy. Both companies reported after the bell today, having a bit of a different experience following those numbers. Texas Instruments shares are really ripping in the post-market. Last I checked, they were up over 7%. They're probably still moving, but that comes as its first quarter sales outlook beat, even as fourth quarter profits kind of came more in line. And so people are really excited about this guidance.
Okay. And then we have...
Are you excited?
Don't ask. And then we have what? Seagate.
And we have Seagate. Seagate, on the other hand, is trading lower after results. You know, looking at the numbers, it seems like this should have been a beat, and it could be just it wasn't good enough for the market. Seagate, it's important to note, shares are up 35% in 2026 so far. And so I think it's possible that traders were looking for something a little bit stronger.
After being a top performer last year.
Yes.
So it's been on a tear. So I think we look for a little bit more color, right, in terms of the business.
Okay, those are the two companies that just reported.
They did.
We're getting a lot of companies reporting. General Motors, learning more about the most recent quarter and the outlook for the year.
General Motors reported this morning. Shares gained almost 9% today, closed at a record high.
Was this one of your gainers, Carol?
No, I was going to, but no.
Too many to choose from.
I had a lot to...
Busy day.
There were a lot to choose from, like really some big movers and to the upside. So General Motors
closed up almost 9%. Like I said, its full year adjusted EBIT guidance came in above... The midline came in above estimates, and this really comes as people weren't sure whether companies like General Motors would be able to navigate all of the headwinds in the auto environment. You know, they're ending their EV business that comes with a lot of cost, and also there's concerns about customer welfare. There's concerns about how these auto companies are going to deal with tariffs, and even then, GM's print came in quite strong.
Are they ending? No, they're not ending it completely, are they?
They're cutting back severely.
Yeah, and I know Mary Barr was talking about kind of reevaluating it, and
it's such a difference than a few years ago when Ford and GM were all in on EVs.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think, I think you look at the world, right, and everybody looks about it. That it's kind of moving in that direction.
There's a story on the terminal today about how European car sales are really dominated by EVs.
Yeah.
But the picture in America is quite different, and part of that is politics, and part of that's just a cultural difference.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about BYD too in Mexico. And
Tesla
Chinese.
Reporting tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Amy Stillman, we did that interview with her earlier in the program. If you missed it, do check it out on our podcast feed.
All right. Healthcare companies.
And
Speaking
of big movers of the day, UNH dropped almost 20% today. Humana down 21%. Humana had its worst day since 2009. Don't ask me where I was in 2009. I couldn't tell you.
We're not going to ask you.
The U.S. did threaten to hold payments to private health insurers flat involved in Medicare, and that really created this crater amongst the industry. And also UNH said that it would see its first year-over-year decline in revenue in over 30 years. And so there's not a lot of bright spots today for health insurers.
Yeah. And then I had the hospital chain, though, HCA, who actually came out, and that was...
Had strong results today.
A gainer, right? Exactly.
But you also had 7%. CVS, Elevance Health down.
Exactly.
Healthcare was the worst performing sector in the S&P 500 today.
And is it Elevance Health that reports tomorrow, I think?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on this space, because it certainly was one. Started late Monday and then carried over into the Tuesday trade. All right, good stuff. At a record. Any thoughts?
We'll see what happens tomorrow. And rest for the wicked.
There's a few big earnings tomorrow, and as Tim mentioned, the Fed meeting. Good stuff. Jordan, thank you.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.